Wow.
Jake Paul, I mean, as of right now, for what he's doing, it's good for what he's doing. But once he fights a real fighter, it's going to be bad. YouTubers and keep putting them in putting them in there with MMA guys.
Yeah.
That's kind of over the hill. He's going to continue to shine.
Floyd Mayweather has finally weighed in on the buzz surrounding the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson showdown. And as usual, his perspective is captivating. Despite the long-running tension between Mayweather and Paul, Money Floyd offered some unexpectedly positive commentary on the matchup. Tyson fans, however, had a moment of worry recently when the former champion reportedly faced some health troubles mid-fight. Sources say he battled dizziness and nausea due to an ulcer flare-up, but true to form, Iron Mike quickly reassured everyone that he was fit, focused, and ready to step into the ring. The fight itself drew massive attention, airing live on Netflix and filling AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas to capacity. Excitement was at an all-time high, though the night ultimately unfolded in ways few Tyson supporters anticipated. What promised to be a chaotic spectacle certainly delivered, but not always in the way fans expected. The event felt more like a surreal Netflix fantasy than a traditional boxing contest, complete with streaming hiccups, miscommunication, and even a glimpse of Tyson's backside. And that was before the main bout even started. Jake Paul made a dramatic entrance, rolling up in a green convertible with his brother Logan by his side. Tyson, ever the icon, approached the ring with his signature old-school swagger, reminding everyone why a legend returning at 58 still commands attention.
And now they're finally walking out. It's all this theatrical stuff that's happening right now. I just want to see these guys fight. I don't care about your car. I don't care about 30 minutes of commercials. I hope Mike Tyson walks out like a G, like a praying. He just walks out like, I'm here to box. Now, I'm not saying Mike Tyson can't win. I'm just saying, we'll see. Maybe he's going to defy age. Round one. Mike Tyson. Holy. Okay, that right hand, though, 2 minutes is not long enough. 2 minutes is very, very.
In the opening rounds, Tyson had the crowd roaring, channeling flashes of the ferocity that once defined his prime. But as the fight wore on, reality began to set in. By the later rounds, Tyson's punches lost their snap, while 27-year-old Jake Paul started settling into a rhythm. Paul didn't land any knockout blows, but his consistent jabs and counters were enough to accumulate points. After 8 2-minute rounds, 16 minutes of mostly circling, light strikes, and awkward pacing, the judges handed a unanimous victory to Paul. The crowd's reaction was far from thrilled, with boos echoing through the arena as the fight felt more like a prolonged sparring session than a high-stakes battle. Credit where it's due, Paul controlled the bout. But seeing a visibly worn Tyson struggle in the ring left many fans disappointed. Still, there was a moment of mutual respect as the two fighters embraced in the center of the ring. Respect aside, the matchup left viewers questioning whether this spectacle was truly necessary. The 58-year-old heavyweight legend entered the ring looking like a shadow of his former self. There were glimpses of the old Iron Mike, especially early on when a few crisp left hooks landed. But it quickly became clear that Father Time had Tyson at a disadvantage. Tyson struggled to generate significant offense, landing just 18 punches compared to Paul's 78. Wearing a knee brace and moving slower than his younger opponent, he found himself on the defensive after taking a few solid left hands in round 3. Despite the mismatch, Tyson displayed veteran resilience, using defensive skill to avoid serious damage. But the fight was never in doubt. Tyson later revealed he was battling a leg injury, which only hampered his performance further. Jake Paul, in peak physical condition at 27, proved too much for the aging boxing icon. While few expected Tyson to replicate the fearsome fighter he once was, it was still hard for millions of fans to watch their hero struggle. The outcome may have been predictable, but seeing one of the greatest heavyweights of all time tested by a social media star was a bittersweet moment for boxing enthusiasts. It served as a reminder that even legends have limits. Mike Tyson, once the most feared heavyweight on the planet, made a shocking return to professional boxing nearly 2 decades after his last official fight. Facing Jake Paul at 58, the result raised one clear question. Would Tyson attempt this again? While he had participated in an exhibition against Roy Jones Jr. in 2020, this was a true professional contest, and it showed that reputation alone couldn't overcome the realities of age. Fans were left both in awe of his courage and confronted with the harsh truth that even legends eventually feel the weight of time.
No idea how much I'm praying that you are right. I do not want to see Mike Tyson get knocked out. I really, really don't. I'm proud at how his life has evolved and, and all of this stuff after all that he's been through. I don't wish this brother to get knocked out. But, fellas, he's 31 years older than Jake Paul. 31. Do y'all understand? I'm going to put this in perspective. I was just telling somebody here in the studio in L.A. this. Do y'all know more than 20 years ago, Mike Tyson got dropped in a fight from sheer fatigue? Wasn't even hurt, but still extended his hand to reach out for the referee to help him up. He actually had a second there where he was looking for the referee to help him up because he was so tired, you understand, that he could barely get up. That was 20 years ago. So if that was you 20 years ago, what am I supposed to believe about you now? Now, in the case of Jake Paul, I'm conflicted.
Meanwhile, Jake Paul secured his 11th professional victory, though many of his wins have been, shall we say, headline-grabbing for reasons other than classic boxing prowess. From taking on MMA fighters to outmatching lesser-known pugilists, Paul's path has been anything but traditional, but undeniably successful. After toppling Tyson, he's already aiming higher, dropping hints about a possible showdown with Canelo Alvarez.
I tried to give the fight the best fight I possibly could, but when someone's just surviving in the ring, basically, it's hard to make it exciting. So I couldn't really get him to engage me or slip shots and, do something super cool or whatever. But I don't care about what people have to say. They're always going to have something to say, and that it is what it is. There was a point where I was just like, okay, he's not really engaging back. And so I don't know if he's tired or whatever. And I could just tell, his age was showing a little bit. And I just have so much respect for him. And that violence war thing between us, after he slapped me, I wanted to, be aggressive and take him down and knock him out and all that stuff. But that kind of went away as the
fight, held at the home of the Dallas Cowboys, was nothing short of monumental, drawing a crowd of 72,300 and a dazzling array of celebrities. This wasn't just a bout, it was a collision of two boxing eras, a surreal moment for fans and fighters alike. For Tyson, it may mark the closing chapter of his professional boxing journey, while for Paul, it's just another milestone in his unconventional rise. Jake Paul can now add a win over Mike Tyson to his controversial and growing resume. The YouTuber-turned-boxer faced the 58-year-old Hall of Famer in a matchup that spotlighted the stark contrast between boxing generations. Tyson, stepping into the ring for the first professional fight since 2005, went up against a man with nothing to lose and everything to prove. For Paul, this was part of a larger redemption arc following his February loss to Tommy Fury. The first legitimate boxer he had faced, Paul had since strung together a 5-fight win streak. But facing Tyson was on an entirely different level. Tyson isn't just any opponent. He's a former undisputed heavyweight champion with 44 knockouts to his name. Yet, the 27-year-old Paul appeared faster, fresher, and far more agile than Tyson, who was visibly affected by age. Wearing a leg brace and struggling to find his rhythm, Tyson's movements were stiff, and his signature explosiveness was largely absent. Complicating matters, Tyson had recently battled an ulcer flare-up, which delayed the fight. Though he insisted it wouldn't affect his performance, the numbers told a clear story. Paul landed 78 of 278 punches, connecting at 28%, while Tyson managed only 18 of 97, for an 18% success rate. Though Paul didn't deliver a knockout, he stunned the legend several times in the early rounds and controlled the fight throughout. By round 3, it was evident that this wasn't the Iron Mike of old. his stamina waning, his power diminished, and the gap between generations unmistakable.
Man, I just felt so mentally like focused and locked in. There was like no nerves, no adrenaline, even though my body wasn't as good in shape because of my ankle sprain. I just mentally, everything's slowing down in the ring. I'm not getting as nervous and stuff like that. So that was
Did you
really
notice
good.
there's 75,000 people watching? Did that get you at all? How many people thought
Did
were
I
in the arena
notice it?
tonight?
No, honestly, it's harder fighting in an arena because it's louder. In the stadium, it's not that loud. So
It wasn't the fairy tale comeback many fans had imagined. Tyson's record now sits at 50-7 with 44 knockouts, a testament to his dominance in his prime. For Jake Paul, the win only reinforces his status as one of boxing's most talked about figures. Love him or hate him, Paul walked away victorious on points, though fans remain divided over who truly won the night at AT27. Paul faced intense scrutiny for stepping into the ring with a 58-year-old legend who hadn't fought professionally in nearly 20 years. Statistically, Paul landed 78 punches to Tyson's 18, but the result didn't quiet the critics. Social media erupted with debates about the legitimacy of the matchup and whether Paul's win should even be considered a true achievement. For many, the fight presented a no-win scenario, lose, and Paul would be criticized for failing to beat a near-retired Tyson. Win, and he's praised for defeating a fighter long past his peak. Paul delivered a solid performance, but for boxing purists, the victory came at a complicated cost, leaving fans to wrestle with what the fight really meant for the sport.
But, unfortunately, everybody wasn't surprised. Mike Tyson ended up losing this fight to Jake Paul. I did. My heart wanted Mike Tyson to win, but my mind was like, Jake Paul's going to win. He's 30 years younger than him. He is getting better as a boxer. I think now I view all these fights that he just recently had as an amateur. He has a very expensive amateur career where he's being paid. Reason why I say it is like when you look at boxing, an amateur at least has 25 to 30 fights under their belts before they go pro. And they either go to the Olympics, where Jake Paul's taking a different route where he's picking and choosing the athletes that he's fighting. And some of these guys are tough. They're all tough. I'm not saying they're bad, but they're all amateurs as well because they don't have as many fights. Now, the two gentlemen that he did fight recently, the guy he knocked out, the guy who was delivering pizza, and the gentleman Rhino who left boxing to go work at Oral Rig. You got to take into consideration these guys left boxing and they're coming back to get a check. But granted, they were both a lot older than Jake Paul. I believe the pizza boy was 35, and I can't remember how much the oil gentleman is as well. So that's why I'm considering as an amateur. What would I like to see next for Jake Paul? I would like to see Jake Paul fight somebody who is relatively his age. Fight someone who's 25 to 29 years old, who's on who's maybe, 15-1, 12-2, 13-4 in boxing, his age, and has a nice amateur career, maybe 30 fights, 40 fights as amateur. But the culture in boxing is totally different, right? Before I went pro as a professional mixed martial artist, I had at least 20 fights, 5, maybe 4 jiu-jitsu tournaments. I had a boxing match, Muay Thai match, shoot boxing match, kickboxing match, and I had like at least 15 mixed martial arts fights before I went pro. So it's a little bit different. So that's why I view this as his amateur career right now, and he's making a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money.
The fight itself didn't deliver the excitement fans were hoping for. With rounds shortened to just 2 minutes, the total action spanned a mere 16 minutes. Neither fighter landed a knockout, and while Tyson displayed moments of grit and determination, it was obvious this wasn't the Iron Mike who once dominated the heavyweight division. Wearing a knee brace and noticeably slower, Tyson still managed to go the distance against a younger, fitter Paul, proving that his legendary toughness remains intact. Fans on platforms like X, formerly Twitter, were quick to voice their opinions. Some called the bout a waste of time, even accusing it of being staged, while others argued that a prime Tyson would have ended the fight in seconds. Yet, even at 58, Tyson's ability to endure 8 rounds against someone half his age highlighted his heart and warrior spirit. But let's be honest, 58 is 58. Mike Tyson may still pack a punch, but his legs simply couldn't keep up. Fortunately, Paul didn't send the legend to the canvas, sparing everyone a painful moment. Now with the spectacle behind him, It's time for Jake Paul to face a real challenge. Many are saying enough with retired legends, basketball stars, or MMA fighters. Perhaps it's time to put him against a legitimate top 10 contender, maybe even a current champion. The question remains, can the problem child handle a true boxing test?
And do your thing.
Yeah.
That assists potentially in taking the hands of the sport out, taking the sport out of the hands of the promoters. So in that regard, I root for Jake Paul. I truly, truly do. But in the end, he's 31 years younger. I'm sick and tired of him fighting either non-boxers, strikers, basketball players, or boxers with no punch or whatever. I want to see him go up in there against somebody relatively his age that actually box for a living. If he's going to call himself a boxer, this is the closest that he's gotten to it. And I have no doubt if Mike Tyson catches anybody, he could put him out. I just don't.
You get what I'm saying? Do your thing, Mayweather said, suggesting that Paul is shaking up the sport, taking some control out of the promoter's hands. In that sense, I root for Jake Paul, I really do. But here's the thing, he's 31 years younger than me. I'm tired of him fighting non-boxers, MMA fighters, basketball players, or guys with no real punch. I want to see him step in against someone his own age who actually boxes for a living. If he's going to call himself a boxer, this is the closest he's gotten. And I have no doubt if Mike Tyson catches anyone, he could put them out. Just don't know if he will. Interestingly, Paul admitted he was scared in the ring, even facing a 58-year-old Tyson, which might not sit well with his critics. But standing toe-to-toe with a legend, even a retired one, is no small feat. Meanwhile, viewers at home had their own struggle dealing with Netflix's live streaming chaos. Just like the fight itself, the broadcast fell short, plagued by buffering and technical glitches that left fans ready to throw in the towel. With WWE Monday Night Raw set to stream weekly on Netflix soon, wrestling fans are already nervous about their viewing experience. Between the boos in the arena and the groans online, it's safe to say this event wasn't winning awards, but it was undeniably entertaining in its own chaotic way. In celebrity boxing, that's often the point. Love him or hate him, Tyson remains a legend whose legacy can't be tarnished by a single fight. For Paul, the bigger question lingers. Did he truly win, or did he merely survive another round in the court of public opinion? Even as Jake Paul showed respect to Tyson at the final bell, the controversy surrounding their 8-round bout refuses to fade. At 58, Tyson was clearly outmatched by a younger, sharper opponent, yet in classic Tyson fashion, he's not ready to retire quietly. Landing only 18 punches throughout the fight, he insists he's far from finished. The boxing icon, who has always defied expectations, even hinted at a potential matchup with Logan Paul, Jake's equally polarizing brother. It seems Tyson isn't ready to fade into the background, even after a performance that, for many, fell short of a legend's former glory.
The only result that I think people truly would have been happy with is a Mike Tyson knockout of Jake Paul. I think that's the only one that would have sufficed, and that wasn't happening. There was never really any doubt. He landed a couple punches early on, but there was never really a question as to whether or not that would happen. I think Jake carried him. I think Jake didn't want to knock him out. I'm not sure if he could have, but he definitely took his foot off the gas last couple rounds for sure. And ultimately, I'm okay with that. I predicted a Jake Paul decision. I thought it would be a little bit more competitive to get to the decision, but ultimately I'm okay with that. I am surprised he didn't call out Canelo afterwards or someone else. I'm not suggesting that should be the fight or that he can beat him or anything like that, but it seemed to be like that was the thing on his mind. I am surprised that Mike said he'll fight again and that maybe he'll fight Logan, although I think he was kidding, to be honest.
One thing that's not up for debate, the payday. Jake Paul reportedly walked away with a staggering $40 million, while Tyson still pocketed a hefty $20 million. Both fighters scored big, even as the fight itself sparked a mix of hype and skepticism. Floyd Mayweather, however, views the situation through a different lens, one focused on business savvy. As one of the richest figures in boxing, he doesn't sugarcoat his opinions. When asked about the matchup, he gave credit where it was due. According to Floyd, Jake Paul's moves in the boxing world are kinda cool. he acknowledged Paul's knack for turning fights into money-making ventures, likening it to a clever hustle that's hard to criticize. Mayweather also noted that as long as Paul keeps being matched strategically, which, let's be honest, plays a huge role, it's a win for him financially.
He's selling it. He's selling it, and he's making good money, and he's entertaining. I like it.
Is he? And Floyd, there are many people who believe you're the most talented fighter ever. Period. So whatever you say to this question, I think is important. Are you impressed? Does he have boxing ability, or is he just an entertainer who has a lot of fans and can promote a fight and has fought lesser opponents, or is he actually talented?
As long as he continues to fight MMA guys and YouTubers, he's gonna continue to look good and shine. But once he fights a real fighter, a real fighter that can really fight, it's not gonna be that good.
Does he have the ability, with what you've seen, to continue to mold himself into somebody who can actually? He told me before his goal is to fight Canelo, so that's where his mindset's at.
He'll get fucked up by Canelo. Oh, I'm sorry, it's TMZ.
You can curse. You can curse.
I apologize, but
no apologize about
it. There's no way he'd get demolished. But for what he's doing, as long as they keep getting YouTubers and keep putting them in there with MMA guys, that's kind of over the hill, he's gonna continue to shine. So I'm proud of him. I'm not really upset. Even like it was so crazy. I remember just a while back, his brother was like, "Oh, I didn't get paid. It was just like I said before. He just want to keep his name out there. As long as he attached his name to mine, he's gonna keep my name out there. Remember what he said? He said, "Oh, Mayweather ain't gonna, he didn't pay me. He didn't pay me. Where's the lawsuit? If you didn't get paid, where's the lawsuit?" So it's a bunch of bull. But like I said before, they know what they're doing. Both brothers, Logan as well as Jake, they know what they're doing. So they're doing what they got to do. I can't knock them.
And while this fight might not earn a spot among Tyson's all-time classics, his refusal to retire adds an unexpected twist to an already legendary career. Whether it's Logan Paul or another challenger, Iron Mike seems determined to give fans at least one more spectacle. The real question, will they show up to watch? Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching.